I got a letter. I wonder who it's from. This shit is bananas. Oh yeah, babe. We gonna play this one. Bye. I'll add this one to the queue so it'll come up after. It's my shit. Few times I've been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like that. 'Cause no holla back, girl. You, you know what's funny is a lot of people actually learned how to spell bananas because of this song. This my shit. This my shit. Ooh. She's a good artist. Her and Pink are both good artists. I didn't think that I would hear it. Everybody got it. I'm getting very lucky because there's been a lot of times where I came over to collect bananas and I would get none. Ooh, that's my. Ooh. I'm gonna play another throwback. Some of y'all may know this one and some of y'all may not. I don't know. Not that one. This is really... I don't know when this came out. It's a throwback though. They don't make beats like this anymore. Oh, these aren't pickable. That's alright though. I'm gonna go pick some more sugarcane. Uh-huh. Hold on. Is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? He's sitting there like a little distinguished gentleman. You remember this one? Probably not, but maybe. Me in the 9th grade at my school dance, thinking I was a bad bitch. Do it all. Going hard when they turn the spotlights on. She move her body like a... cyclone, mighty cyclone. She might put it on me. On me. Never sloppy. Oh, I'm gonna crash. Them hands get to burning. Shawty got class, shawty got hips. She hit the station. Ooh. Hold on, I'm gonna pause the music for a sec because I want to read this letter from J Dust. A letter from the last survivor. My dearest Daisy, there are some stories a man carries with him for the rest of his life. Not stories he tells around a campfire, nor tales he shares in a saloon after a few drinks. I mean the kind of stories that stay buried beneath the scars. The memories that return when the night grows quiet and a man is left alone with his thoughts. This is the story of how I became the last survivor of my unit. I was once an officer beneath the Union colors, riding at the head of good men. I carried a sword with a cane beside me, though in those days I had little need for the cane. My horse was strong, my uniform was clean, and I believed there was still something noble about war. Then came the battle that changed everything. We were surrounded. The field was a sea of smoke and mud. and Confederate fire tore through our ranks. One by one, the men fell beside me. I watched friends disappear beneath artillery smoke until eventually there was no one left. I was alone. Then Silas found me. He was a Confederate sharpshooter, patient and deadly. His rifle cracked across the battlefield, and the bullet struck my eye. I fell into the mud. When I rose again, I could only see through one eye. I reached for my sword. I refused to surrender. Another shot struck my knee. My horse went down shortly afterwards, killed beneath me, leaving me stranded in the middle of a battlefield with a wounded leg, one good eye, and a sword in my hand. I dragged myself through the mud. The fighting continued around me, but my unit was gone. Every man I had commanded was either dead, wounded, or scattered. I was the last one. For what seemed like an eternity, I fought alone. My cane became my crutch. My sword became my only companion. My remaining eye searched through the smoke for anyone wearing the colors I wore. There was no one. I remembered thinking that this was where J. Dust would die. Not in a grand ceremony, not surrounded by comrades, just alone in a muddy field. But then I heard a familiar voice. Jay! It was my brother. Jack had come looking for me. I can still remember his face when he found me. He saw the blood covering my uniform, my destroyed knee, and the empty side of my face. He didn't ask whether I could walk. He simply said, "You're coming with me." And somehow he got me out. If it had not been for my brother, I would have died fighting on that battlefield. The war eventually ended, but my fighting did not. America had taught me how to survive. Scars taught me how to endure. I crossed campaigns and frontiers, traveling further than I had ever imagined whenever I first put on that uniform. I rode through the American territories, across hard country where the law could be bought with silver, and where a man's reputation was sometimes worth more than his life. I found myself crossing the sands of Mexico, working as a mercenary when the circumstances demanded. I rode beneath foreign skies and fought battles where nobody cared what flag I had once served beneath. I learned that war does not always end when the armies go home. Sometimes it follows a man. Eventually, my road carried me farther than all the way to Egypt. I saw deserts stretching farther than the eye could follow, ancient ruins standing where armies had vanished centuries before, and men fighting for causes I barely understood. Everywhere I went, I carried the same scars. The empty side of my face, the wounded knee, the cane, the sword, and the memory of the men who never came home. Years later, I returned to my own country. I was no longer the young officer who had marched proudly into battle. I was J. Dust, one-eyed, scarred, limping, much older. A gentleman carrying a sword cane, a revolver, and enough memories to fill a dozen lifetimes. People sometimes ask why I keep writing, why I still take dangerous roads, why I still put myself between innocent people and those who would harm them. The answer is simple, because once, a long time ago, I was lying alone on a battlefield, believing nobody was coming, and then my brother came for me. Jack taught me something that day. A man may lose his horse, he may lose his eye, he may lose his comrades, he may even lose the strength to stand. But as long as someone is willing to reach through the smoke and pull him back from death, the fight is not over. So when you see me riding across this country with my cane beside me and my sword at my side, understand that I am not chasing glory. I am carrying the memory of everyone who never made it home. I am carrying the debt I owe to my brother. For if Jack had not found me that day, there would be no J. Dust to write this letter. I would have died in that field. I would have become nothing more than another name forgotten beneath the mud. Instead, I survived. And perhaps that is the greatest campaign of them all. Not the Civil War, not Mexico, not Egypt. Not the battles fought beneath distant skies. The greatest campaign was simply finding the strength to come home. Your faithful servant,